What is up, you guys? It's your favorite cutie Tati, and this is another installment of Talking with Tati. Today we're back on Love is Blind Season 9, Episode 12, where we saw who got married, who didn't, which is basically nobody got married. Let's just start off this conversation with Allie and Anton. Allie says no to Anton at the altar, which I'm really glad that she did. I feel like the drinking was a huge problem for her, and even though that she tried to give Anton grace, like the comment from the mom, I feel like really sat with her. And then also I feel like her friends pep talk and speech about like basically not settling for potential, and talking about how like if you can't accept him how he is today forever, then don't marry him. I thought that was rock star advice, and I'm glad that she had really supportive people around her who were honest with her, because I think that those things would have become a problem. Also, I feel like Allie was really thrown off by the fact that Anton had kind of given her a different idea about what his actual lifestyle is. He likes to drink a lot, he goes to clubs and stuff. She's not really about that, and he basically deceived her on that. Probably was just going with the vibes of what she said she wanted, and he was trying to fit that, which he ultimately was not. So thank God for all the truth tellers around her who were able to give her the insight she needed to actually make such a heavy decision. Let's see. I think that she made the right choice, and honestly, that's really all that is to it. It was just a mismatch in values, and I think that Anton he was ready to say yes, basically just, I think, purely off of her looks, because when it comes down to him talking about her, he knows that she doesn't cook, she doesn't clean, she's not going to do anything domestic, and she was going to expect him to financially support her, and he seemed okay with that to a certain extent. But also I kind of felt like he wasn't really okay with it. He was just going along with it because for him, I can imagine, like, I guess the benefit would still be great with him being a truck driver and stuff. He wouldn't even be home half the time to see the mess or the lack thereof. So, it didn't work out, but I think it was for the best. Next, let's move on to KB and Edmond. You guys know I already talked about them. I thought Edmond was going to say yes no matter what to whoever was in front of him if he made it to the altar to this point, just because it seems like he was very desperate for love. It seems like he's been very like love deprived in his life as far as romantic love. Now, his fifth grade teacher came and talked about all the people that love him, and I'm really glad that she came. I felt like she was so sweet, and she was really the support that he needed there, because the mom did not come for whatever reason. Ed said it was because of personal reasons that she wasn't able to make it, but I'm glad that he did have some sort of support. Honestly, I think that this whole experience was great for Edmond, and the fact that he was able to have a relationship with Calibria, KB, this far, I feel like it's helped him to mature, and he's learned a lot about relationships that I think that he could take forward with him into his next. I do think that if he keeps interacting with people and having like these experiences, and he's open to learn that he actually can have the marriage that he wants one day, I don't think that like he's never going to find anyone. I think he just has to stay committed, and I think he's tried out of desperation, and now he needs to just learn more about himself, take in this experience, and hopefully be able to apply these lessons that he learned about being with a woman, and hopefully land somebody. It probably might not be soon, but maybe it will be. You never know. Okay, let's see. KB's mom checks on Ed when his mom couldn't make it. I thought that was really nice that she went in there and checked on him. Yeah, let's see. Ed didn't check her boxes. Yeah, I just feel like Ed did not check her boxes. I felt like everything that KB was saying that she wants in a man, that was just not Ed, and I think that she should have been more honest about it. And especially seeing the kind of person that Ed is, I do feel like she led him on a bit, because all of the comments about how she want him to shoot up the club and this, that, and the third, knowing that, she had doubts. And I feel like she did not only discover that she had doubts at the altar. I feel like she's known this all along. They've had a very rough connection filled with friction pretty much the whole time after they got out of the pod. So I feel like it wasn't honest of her to pretend the way that she did. I think that she just wanted to make it to the end of the show and do the whole show. I could be wrong, but like I said, I never really believed that she liked him as much as she said that she did. Maybe she did care for him. I do believe that she had a genuine care, but for me, I don't think she really liked him that much, because literally, like, she was always talking about the stuff that he didn't do and that she didn't like, and she had her moments of being a cheerleader, but it just seemed like she was more of a mom figure and more of a maternal role, and nobody truthfully wants to be a mom to the person who's supposed to be who they're supposed to be in a romantic relationship with. It's just not fun. It's not something that I don't think anybody wants. I do think that Edmond handled everything really well after she told him no at the altar. I saw maturity and growth. I thought he was going to crash out way harder, to be honest, if she was to say no. And I think that his vows and everything to me just showed me the growth that he's acquired throughout the beginning of this process all the way down to the end. I wrote down, I do hope that he finds the right person. I do think he's a great guy, and I think his teacher was very supportive. Okay, let's move on to Megan and Jordan. I feel like Megan was always trauma bonding with Jordan's son, Luca. I felt like very little of their relationship had to do with and her commitment to Jordan had a lot more to do with the fact that the son had the same illness as her dad, who passed away. And I don't blame her, because I think that trauma can be blinding, but ultimately I think that she made the right choice by breaking things off with Jordan, because I feel like her sister or whoever that was with her really did break it down. And she said, my fear is that, like, you know, you're in it more for the son than for Jordan. And she absolutely was. Jordan says that they're not that different, but in everyday life, I feel like he exacerbates the differences between him. Even though, like, he says that, you know, money isn't a big deal and he doesn't mind that she makes more money, I feel like he absolutely does mind, because to me, it seemed like he brung it up every single chance that he got. Anytime that there was some sort of disagreement about, like, what Megan wanted in a partnership, it was always comes back to, oh, well, if I had this amount of money, if I had this, that, and the third. And honestly, I'm glad that she got away from him and chose not to even proceed with the marriage, because I think that he would have grown to definitely resent her lifestyle, and basically the fact that she doesn't have to work the same hard life or the same hours as he does, and it's just a difference of lifestyle. And I feel like Megan would have been probably better off with the other guy, but also the other guy that she was stuck in between, he was apparently like kind of like a player, so I think it would have been a lose-lose regardless. But I think that sometimes we can shoot ourselves in the foot with the whole opposites attract thing, because I think at the end of the day, if your lifestyles are so different that you can't find a common ground, which it seems like that was a problem with Megan and Jordan, then I feel like it's just simply not going to work. Let's see. I think Jordan was sad, but he also did handle it very well. I'm glad that he gave her a hug, and he did mention that he regrets introducing Luca to Megan, but I feel like that was kind of unfair. I feel like Jordan did a really good job at tastefully introducing Luca to Megan. It didn't seem like they just spent tons and tons of time together, so I could see if, like, he really went hard with, oh, this is going to be your new stepmom and stuff like that. But I think it's the same as, like, introducing his son to, like, a female friend or something like that. I'm pretty sure it wasn't too crazy, but I do understand his feeling about that, because as a mom myself, one thing that hurts the most is feeling like you're hurting your child by, like, introducing them to people who are going to be temporary. I've been through that before, and I don't wish it on anybody, because those scars can stay with them, and kids just don't understand a lot of things that are that have to do with relationships and why they break apart and things like that. But I think ultimately he did a very tasteful job, and I think Jordan is a good person who will find somebody who has a more similar lifestyle to him, so that he can live happily ever after and get the relationship that he wants. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and do our me and me affirmation cards to wrap it up for the day. I'm not looking. We picked be kind to yourself. I feel like this is a good card for this because I think that this could be used by all of the cast members on Love is Blind. Affirmation: I am a good person. A reminder: I need to stop being my harshest critic. I am too hard on myself sometimes. Practice: start using kind language to describe your wins and losses. I did a great job at work, or I made some mistakes today, but it was not the end of the world, and tomorrow I get to try again. I really like that, because honestly, I think that we all need to be kinder to ourselves when we're finding love and navigating these streets, because it could be really difficult to sift through the different people. And honestly, I think that, like, you know, it's, if you really want to have something that's lasting and functional and feels good, I think that it takes a little bit longer sometimes. Some people are really lucky to, like, maybe grow up with the love or something like that, and it ends up working out. But I think that everybody should be kinder to themselves when dating, and just kinder to themselves in general when it comes to disappointing others and making choices that are right for ourselves. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you guys want to see me do more like reality TV kind of content, definitely let me know by giving me a huge thumbs up, hype the video, get down in those comments. Let me know what you thought about KB and Edmond, about Megan and Jordan, and also Ali and whatever his name is. But I love you guys so much. Follow me at Oh Your Name Is Tati everywhere, and it's the Tati Show on Instagram and on YouTube. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Mwah. Tati. out.